people? Today I'm going to be doing a review for Falcon and the Winter Soldier season. Well, I don't know if this is going to be the only season or not, but I'm going to call it season 1, episode 5. Um, yeah, last week we had a crazy episode, episode 4. It's definitely the craziest episode we've had this season so far, and arguably I still think the best episode we've had this season. And so, yeah, did this episode beat episode 4? No, but it was still a really good episode. Don't get me wrong. It was another character episode. It was very, like, if you liked episode 1, you'll like this. I really liked episode 1, so I really liked this. It's definitely a character episode. They do a lot with Bucky and Sam, and they've never felt more human than in anywhere else. But in this show, they feel so human because, of course, we get a chance to see Falcon and Bucky work on a boat, and we get to see them, bond over the shield while he's training. Stuff like that is stuff I would like to see. And yeah, the biggest thing about this episode that was a big improvement for me was Bucky. The whole entire show was just kind of like over it. I like the character, but in this show he was just kind of like, why'd you give up the shield, Sam? I don't want to be here. I'm making amends. And there really wasn't much more to him besides, the jokes that were made about him. But here, he was in a good mood. I was happy that he wasn't, why did you give up the shield, Sam? I was very, very overhearing that. But, yeah, here this is probably my favorite I've ever had, Sebastian Stan as Bucky, because he's, a human being here, besides, just the person that says, why'd you give up the shield a million times? But, yeah, I really liked him in this episode. John Walker, love what they're doing with him. I had to admit, now seeing how it played out, I wanted a little bit more of John Walker as Captain America before they took everything away from him. I would have wanted a little bit more, but oh well. And the opening action sequence was just an homage to Civil War, and that's my favorite Marvel movie, so I was loving that opening action sequence. And with this episode, I just really found out I just don't care about the Flag Smashers. I really don't. I really couldn't care anymore. It's another weak Marvel villain. And by the way, I guess Zemo was written off. I would have preferred to him at least have a little bit of a role in the season finale because he was a big part of the show. And I guess he's just gone now. But I don't know what to expect out of the season finale. I really don't. It could go right and it could go wrong. While I do like the WandaVision season finale quite a bit, it could have been better. I will admit that. But I think people don't know how much of that shoot of the final episode was affected by COVID. I think a lot more people need to know about that. Like, people don't know that the whole entire third act, I guarantee you, from the looks of it, they didn't say it specifically, but I can guarantee they had originally planned for Doctor Strange to show up. They said that they reshot almost, besides they reshot basically a whole storyline that included Monica, the kids, and Quicksilver, and they cut it out because of COVID or something like that. Because I don't know. And if they wanted to stick with that ending, they had to, delay the show again. They didn't want to delay the show. A lot of people don't know that about WandaVision, no, but now I've talked about most of this review about WandaVision. Yeah, anyways, this was a very, very good episode. I'm excited to see what they do with this season finale. But considering I'm very, very nervous going in because it looks like a lot of it's going to be revolved around the Flag Smashers, and I just simply don't care about them. And my favorite elements of the show were definitely Zemo. He's gone. John Walker is Captain America. The post-credit scene shows him building a shield. That might be the last time we see him. It might not even be, he might not ever show up again in the show. I'm just putting that in perspective. That because these Marvel shows, I don't want to say WandaVision kind of like, don't set your movie expectations like Endgame mind's going to be blown, and you cannot set that for yourself. You have to go in with no expectations for these shows. But yeah, anyways, I am excited and yet nervous for the season finale. I'm pretty sure I'll like it. I don't see why not. And yeah, the show's been great so far. The thing is, even though it's a good show, it it's if this was a movie, I think I'd be liking it more, just because I think it'd flow a lot better as a movie, but yet it almost needs to be a show. This story as a whole seems very hard to adapt. But I think this would have been a lot better if you just binged it like WandaVision. I think from what it looks like, they need to release the whole entire show at once. Especially their Disney, especially Marvel shows. I think from what I've seen so far, I think they'd be a lot better because I could say if I binged all the Falcon and the Winter Soldier at once, I'd be a lot more into it. But considering that it feels like they're cutting you in and out of a story through these episodes. It feels very I'm not rushing to get to the next one. I felt more excited for the next one than when episode 4 left me, but I'm not as excited for the finale as I was for this episode because I kind of know where it's going. But yeah, I'm excited to see what's in that case that Bucky brought for Sam. I hope the suit looks good. That like this suit better look good because Marvel, how sometimes their suits are good, sometimes they're not so good, and they're really building this one up. So it better be one of the best suits they've ever done because if it's underwhelming, it will become a meme. It really will. But yeah, I really like this episode. I'm gonna give it an 8.7 out of 10. So yeah, anyways, like, share, subscribe, and stuff like that, and adios.